Hey, you guys, welcome to another episode of New Comic Book Day. Why? We're your co-hosts here. We got Psychotronic Squirt Gun, that's me. And then we got Cuppo Comics over here.
What's
Will.
up, everybody?
Yeah. Will's the one who reads his comics, the modern ones. I read them too, but I've pretty much given up on newer comics, although I still have some coming in here. So maybe I'll open that box.
Nice.
That just came in today.
Ooh, fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh, clean, and minty. But we normally started off with you coming off the brand new comic book day with your fresh thoughts and your enthusiasm, right?
Yeah.
So should we have you kick it off?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do this thing. All right. What do we got? All right, we got some DC here. So as you know, DC is big right now into doing the absolute power thing with Amanda Waller, right? That's all happening. So a lot of the main books are tie-ins these days. So we got Absolute Power, tie-in Superman. This is Hellbound. So I mean, if you've been reading Absolute Power, Supes had his power stolen, and now he's back in his black suit as he's healing. Took three bullets to the chest and somehow survived thanks to Mr. Terrific.
Okay. Yeah. I remember that. I remember him falling. He was falling. That was the cliffhanger.
That was the big setup. But this is the Dark Roads with Zatanna. They're traveling around, just trying to. So, Supes doesn't like magic. Neither does Batman.
I do like the idea of the Dark Roads and the Crossroads. What's up, Crazy Hungarian? Joe. What's going on? Thanks for being here, buddy.
I like the like when they did the Dark Justice League. I like the idea of the magic characters and the mystical characters. Like I like John Constantine and Zatanna,
I've read some of that Dark Justice League when Tinian did it.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to read the old Alan Moore stuff, and that's kind of where a lot of it got kicked off,
Kind of started, right?
Yeah.
But
Alan Moore Swamp Thing, I should say.
Yes. This is so Supes finally gets to his Fortress of Solitude, where he finds some of his family there. So that's the whole hugging and stuff. Basically, Amanda Waller has everything on lockdown.
Are you caught up on the Absolute Power?
I am not. I still have to read issue 3, so I'm still a little bit behind. So
how's the move going, buddy?
I'll read this eventually. Pretty good. I'm in a different location than I was last week, so
okay.
It's a never-ending battle to find the right spot.
Well, this looks cool. Heath Hoxie, what's up, man? Thanks for being here.
Yeah. So, hey, what's up, Heath? If you look over here, you can't see it now, but there's like a nail in the wall right there. So at some point, we'll hang something there.
Okay.
This guy might move. We're just trying out different.
Are you in the bedroom?
No. This is a section, like a corner of the living room. So
okay.
Living room's mostly over there, and then as you get closer to the window, it kind of veers off. There's a skylight here, so if I do things during the daytime, I'll have some natural lighting.
Yeah.
So,
are you liking the new place so far?
So far, so good. It's a little, I would say it's a little smaller than my last place, so it's a lot harder to find spots for my comics. That's the only downfall.
Yeah, that's the only drawback.
I don't have as much storage for the comics, but it's fine. I'm actually thinking about starting like an Instagram page where I'll just list some books, and if anybody wants to purchase books from my collection, you can find them on that Instagram page.
Excellent.
We'll set that up soon.
I am one of us. Thanks for being here. Awesome.
All right. Next up, we got Catwoman. Be seeing you, Sabrina. So this should be the last book. It's a Daniel Nakayama cover, by the way, DNA. This should be the last book in the series as it wraps up. So
From
it's been
Tina.
Yeah, Teeny Howard.
Teeny Howard.
It's
You
been
kind of liked it, huh?
I did. I stuck with it. I've got issues like 1 through 68, so they should have just went for 70.
Wow. She
I'm
was on for a while. 68 issues. That's probably 3 years, maybe 2.5 at least.
I think Teeny Howard jumped on in the 30s.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right.
Or maybe it was the 20s. But yeah, she definitely, because there was a point where Sean Murphy was writing it. He wrote a few issues, and then before him, I'm trying to remember who it was. She's a writer / artist.
Yeah, Teeny Howard. I read some of the mutant stuff she did, and I didn't like her, and that's it. I'm not as forgiving, you know. I don't.
Right.
I don't go back to the well once they do something I don't like.
Right. So I mean, they basically wrapped this up with Selena having. Well, here's some spoilers. Like Hush has to do some surgery on her, so you can see him right there. It's Hush.
There's Hush and there's Shush.
Just some more interior. Basically, Selena thought she was under the influence of a cat god. What actually happens is the same meteor, well, not the same meteor, but a similar meteor to the one that gave Vandal Savage his immortality.
Oh.
Kind of, she ends up with a shard of that in her brain.
Art looks pretty good.
Yeah. And so what she does is, you know, she finds out that basically she can die and be resurrected, right? Now she has kind of Vandal Savage powers.
Oh.
So she uses it to go do a bunch of missions that would theoretically kill her, but they were always stuff she wanted to do, heists.
Yeah.
And you know, while she's doing it, she thinks
she's fearless.
Right.
It's Cosmic Vinyl with Cosmic Brian. What's up, Brian?
But yeah, so she does this, and then she believes she only has 9 lives. But what ends up happening is she eventually finds out that it's really just a shard stuck in her brain, and that eventually it's going to kill her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cliff on Comics, your boy Cliff.
What's up, Cliff?
Comics.
Cliff in the house. Cliff, you going to New York Comic Con? Cliff's a New Yorker.
He's a New Yorker, like you, right?
Yeah.
I love New York, right?
I love New York. Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, I used to hate that song. I was like,
oh my gosh. When I was a kid, I hated everything. What up, Rob? Hey, everyone, what's good?
What is good? Everything's good because we had a new comic book day.
Cliff says no NYCC for me. It's really gone semi downhill.
Well, it's I will say it's more expensive and it's less about the comics and more about pop culture, anime, and video games. Not that I hate any of those. I like video games. I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
Pop culture is pop culture. That's cool.
Well, Cliff won't be conned at the con. That's what I get it.
I'm a native New Yorker as a
nice.
kid.
I'm from New England. That's just not as cool as New York. I know.
But now you're on the West Coast.
Yeah, now I'm a Westie.
Right. What else can I say about New York Comic Con? Artist Alley is really cool. Like the top-notch A-listers will usually be in Artist Alley. So, but it's definitely more expensive than your average con. Being from New York, makes it a little bit more affordable in terms of transportation and housing.
Yeah.
You know, like it would be similar, I guess, to if I went to San Diego Comic-Con, the difficulties that would ensue with, you know, the price and the traveling and the getting around. So
you know how many comics I could get for their entry fee?
Yeah. Like one day, I believe, is roughly $65-$70, I think, for a 1 day pass. I think a 4-day pass will run you now about $300.
Hey, Cliff. I was from Connecticut, and we used to call them massholes.
Yeah.
People from Massachusetts. But you know what? We called our liquor stores packies, right? Package stores, packies. I don't know if you do that in New York, but
No, it's a liquor store. Liquor store is a liquor store.
we had to go to the packy by 8 p.m. or if not, we had to go to Massachusetts because it was 10.
What
They
about
were still massholes. No, I love everybody now. That was when I was a kid.
You guys have Cumberland Farms back then and call them Cumbies? Because they do that now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's a gas station. Look at it, kind of like 7-Elevens with gas stations, and they call them Cumberland Farms, but a lot of the times they'll call them Cumby. Like, I got to go to the Cumby, and it's like, what's
yeah.
Like, Cumberland Farms. Also, how you pronounce Worcester when it's spelled Worcester.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Worcester. Man, I wish I had a book to transform to segue into that, but I don't.
Oh, it's cool, dude. We're here for the new comic book day. I got a couple things I'll show later too, so we'll get this rolling here. Enough gabbing.
Right. But yeah, just so you guys know, New York Comic Con to me is still fun. It's just expensive. Expensive as all heck. Yeah, the Incredible Hulk. So this is I keep saying this is probably one of the better, if not the best, current like horror book on the market. So they did a really good job with, I think, turning the Hulk into a horror guy. Nick Klein is back on it. So let's open it up and see what we got going on here.
Excellent.
And there's some poker chips on the cover for you.
Poker chips, right? Oh,
look at that. I don't know where the Hulk's at now, but he's in Vegas. That's right. Because there is the Mirage. There's just something better about, I think, when Nick Klein does the interiors. They find people who kind of mimic him to do the book.
That's what I'm hearing.
But it's just not the same. I don't know. He just has a way with the book. It just feels different when he draws it. Like, let me find a good page where he does a good monster, because there are monsters in this book. Well, he does good color transitions too. Like, here's the Hulk and it's all green, and now we're getting to this lady demon and it's all red.
Yeah.
So, see, like, but that's more the colorist too. I'm sure he has a lot to say with the coloring though, because he's Nick Klein.
The story on this was that suddenly all the monsters were after Hulk, right? Wanting to kill Hulk.
Yeah.
Now,
So
what was the deal with that? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
So, because the Hulk is he's the biggest monster of them all, but now he's
they want to be top dog. Forget the Hulk.
Yeah. Also, he's just the key to unleashing bigger, badder monsters. So. But here's some of the Nick Klein artwork, and
you gotta love that
detail. But yeah, you can see the veins popping, and so he does good monster work.
My guy PGH Zombie loves that creative team, so that's all I gotta know, because that dude loves his horror,
Yeah. So basically, it's not really kill the Hulk; it's more capture the Hulk and use the Hulk for their own demonic purposes. Go
ahead, bud.
I was gonna say, if they can, what is it when a spirit takes your possession? If they can possess them, they have the biggest. They have the biggest, baddest monster on the block.
Is that the motive? They want the greatest monster ever.
Yeah, look here. Here they got him in chains on the last page. So
pretty cool.
One step closer.
Kenneth is saying hi to everyone here tonight, and he's from Virginia.
Virginia. What's up, Kenneth? I was just in...
That's close to New York.
Close-ish. Like, I definitely drove from Virginia to New York and from New York.
Well, I'll tell you, out west, 2-hour drive is a no thing. You're still like in the same state.
Oh, yeah.
I remember back east, man. Back east was like, what? I got to drive an hour? Yeah. That's like 3 freaking states over, man.
When I was in California near LA, something would say like takes 45 minutes, and you'd be like, 45 minutes? Oh man, how far am I going?
Yeah.
And then you check the map, and it was like 2 miles. And it was like, why does it take me 45 minutes to go 2 miles?
All traffic. Right.
But yeah, and the highways are massive, and somehow there's still traffic.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, I'm from New York. I'm used to traffic, but this was a totally new level of traffic. I've never seen traffic like this.
It's called gridlock.
Yeah, apparently. But there's no grid. It's just one open highway with nowhere to go.
Wow. So it sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's like, well, if you ever have driven in Midtown Manhattan, that is also a nightmare. So that's
so we're thinking that last book was the pick of the week. Now we're on to what here?
This is Falling in Love on the Path to Hell.
Oh, we were just talking about the path to hell.
Right.
Gridlock, yeah.
It's a highway in LA. This is a pretty good book. This is Jerry Dugan writing this. So Jerry Dugan was on X-Men for a while. He did the first arc of or the first volume of Marauders.
Yeah.
He did was it Black Bunny, which became some other book because I don't know, copyright stuff. Dugan, he did Deadpool for a while. Jerry Dugan, he's a really good writer. So you got Jerry Dugan and you got Riley Brown on this book. You might know him from the Genies book, 1 billion Genies or whatever it was. Yeah, so basically what you have is you have a gunslinger, a westerner, and you have a samurai who ends up in purgatory. And the whole deal with purgatory is you have to survive. And if you survive, I guess eventually you either make it to heaven or to hell. These two characters meet up with another guy. His name escapes me right now, but he's this character right here who's laughing, ha 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 ha. Who's basically like, join my group, my faction, and we'll protect you, but you basically work for me.
Wow.
And the reason this cowboy gunslinger and the samurai died is for that reason. They were like, no, we don't want to be ruled.
Right.
So they end up
Diamond Princess, hello back at ya.
Diamond Princess, what is up?
Thanks for saying hello.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah. So as you can see, I'm in a new location. For those of you who like, this is a new spot. Yes, I have moved and I'm in a new spot. So yeah, these characters end up going off on their own. I will tell you, there's some big stuff in here, like that you have to deal with. So if you read this, just know there is some serious issues in here, like rape and sodomy. They're not playing around in this book.
Not my cup of tea.
Right. There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff happening. This chick doesn't take kindly to any of that. So there's some guys, members that get cut off. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, these characters are just trying to be independent, right? They didn't end up in purgatory to follow another ruler. They left the real world and the rule there, fighting it, and now they're in purgatory and they're like, we're not going to do it. So these two characters set off on their own separately. The gunslinger ends up in trouble. The samurai comes, finds him, helps him, also nurses him back to health after a serious incident. And it looks like they are slowly, as you can see by this picture, he's not really kissing her back, but they're slowly kind of falling for each other. There's also this funny thing where they don't have the same methods of communication.
Right.
So the gunslinger speaks English and the samurai obviously speaks Japanese. So they're also trying to communicate through
little more mystery for the tension between them.
Right. It's not, they can't exactly communicate, their thoughts and feelings right off the bat. So it's a really good book, honestly.
Okay, cool.
If you can deal with the intense subject matter, which isn't in every book. Like this book I just thumbed through, it didn't really look like there was much happening in this book. But just know there are some intense scenes, and I don't think it's overly grotesque for shock value. I think it's to kind of
it builds up properly.
Push forward the story.
Yeah, I'm just reading the classic stuff lately, you know.
Yeah. Modern books have gotten so crazy. I remember where if there was like the slightest hint of something improper, they were automatically bagged and boarded. And sometimes there was like a piece of paper put in front of it, right? So you just saw the title and that was it. Now, you can just flip through a book and instantly see like, you know, some animated or drawn nudity or see like somebody just getting stabbed through the head and organs peeling out. Those were things that
the evil people are winning, in other words.
Yeah. Back in the 80s and 90s, that was
they're not
really a thing. Marvel used to have, well, they still kind of have standards where people can get stabbed through the eyes and stuff like that.
How about some morality? That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, things are definitely more lenient. I remember a time when you couldn't turn on the TV and there wasn't any curse words. Now, but it everyththing's progressing, I guess. I hope I don't sound like an angry old man. I don't know. Get off my lawn.
You're not that old. Yeah.
Get off my YouTube.
What are you thinking of Destro, the series?
Destro's good. Yeah, everybody's doing great. Destro's pretty good. So I'm only on issue 2 right now, just so you guys know. But I bought an issue of Destro, and for some reason I couldn't read it because all the pages were like they weren't cut properly, so they were all stuck together, and I just hated the idea of like pulling them apart. It was definitely a book that was miscut. So it took me a while to get through issue 2, just for being particular about wanting to not read it because the pages are stuck together.
Right.
Anyway, I've been enjoying all the G.I. Joe Energon verse books. I haven't really found one that I didn't like immensely. So
that's cool.
Yeah, this one is definitely a little bit more of a Destro kind of origin story. At the same time, it shows Destro to be like a boss, right? Like Cobra Commander is like, you work for me or whatever. And Destro's like, I don't work for you. I work with you. All right.
That's the ultimate dynamic that you want from those two.
Right.
Well, Cobra Commander is ultimately the number one baddie, but Destro always it's convincingly vying for that position.
Right. And it's like he kind of could be, but he never actually quite grasps for it because I think he also realizes the headache that comes with being guy.
He wants to make more money or something. I don't know.
Right. His goal is not to be the leader. His goal is the money, cash money, like you. But they both have something to offer each other, right? Destro builds these death bots or whatever they're called, and Cobra provides the energy source, which in this universe is pretty much Energon. So I think that's why it's being called the Energon verse, is because Energon makes the world go round. But here we have like a flashback story of Destro. I believe that's what it is. I'm not totally sold on this, but here's Destro with rocking his fine fur-laced jacket here. But nothing for the best. It's probably minks or something.
Right.
But it does seem like he's got a lady friend in this issue. And actually this is issue 4. So 5 will be coming very soon. And then 5 will be basically the end. So this is the penultimate issue. And then we'll have the finale. Which leads us one step closer to just a G.I. Joe proper book.
Yeah.
So Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow should be the next version of the book. And then we got Cobra here.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Cobra is definitely, in the background plotting and conniving, the usual Cobra stuff.
Yeah.
There is a preview for something back here. Looks like Ultra Mega. So I haven't checked that out. I know that's in stores. Looks interesting, but
cool.
I haven't read that yet. But yeah, G.I. Joe, Destro. I think I tried to put G.I. Joe and Destro together.
Form his own team, right?
Yeah, G.I. Joe. Scarlet and Destro, the ones out now, those are both coming to an end. We should have Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and G.I. Joe #1.
Right.
So right now, it's just the beginnings of Cobra and G.I. Joe. They actually don't really exist. All right. Next one. Here's part of the Spawn universe. I didn't get one Spawn book this week. That was Violator #1. I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed with all the Spawn stuff. So
wow, you took a pass.
I know I passed on one. I'm probably just going to end up picking it up another day. But I still have a lot of books to catch up on too. So that's why, I'm not as quick to grab all these books. But we have Rat City #6, which has been compared to just to cover for the next issue. Spawn 2099, right?
Manny the Hobgoblin Collector. What's up, Emmanuel?
New York Giants. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking
like Giants. The Giants are. But here we go. Here's some Giant paraphernalia. This is my pillow. New York Giants.
Cool.
There we go.
Grant Lankard.
Grant is in the house. What is up, Grant?
What's up, Grant? What up, dude? Thanks for being here.
So what we have here looks like is a little there's some I don't know, like a flashback to some earlier times. I'm not quite sure how that relates to the rest of the story because I haven't read the book yet.
Right.
But then we see a transition from the earlier time then to what's kind of happening in the current, which is interesting. We got some Spawn showing up. Not like I said, not quite sure what in this book, but at this point,
how far along are you with the Rat City?
Rat City? I think I just read issue 3, so I'm 3 issues away. But what we are seeing is that Spawn is starting to be called the King of Rat City. So he is getting some recognition at this point. So this Spawn is making himself known. He is, taking down the criminal element. Here you can see just clearly like impaled some dude.
Right.
So he's definitely making a name for himself, and he's doing it in a not so violent way. But it's not like a regular person because that guy was a hidden violator or whatever you call that demon thing.
Yeah.
So he's doing some stuff. Also, his suit seems to have its own a mind of its own. Not that it has a mind of its own, but if we remember, from regular Spawn, it's kind of a symbiote, and at times it has like reflexes, so it will do its own reflexive thing at moments. And like I showed before, this is the cover for 7.
Nice.
So we'll read this. We'll finish it up soon.
Oh yeah, once you unpack and you're settled down, it's gonna be nose in the books, right, dude?
Exactly. Pedal to the metal. I read last night. I think I read like 4 books. So
cool.
I'm trying to.
You'll catch up before you know it. Moving's not easy.
It's not. It takes a lot out of you. You think it'll be easy, but then you don't realize after you move the big stuff, then you got to move a lot of little stuff, and then after you move all that, you got to clean.
It's a shovel.
And then after you put everything away, which I haven't yet, you still got to clean some more. And you got to find out where things actually go. Like you have an idea in your head, and then some things don't work out.
Yeah. And then there's those boxes that you never open again. Years later, you open it. Oh, this is where that went.
This is, I had boxes at the old place from when I moved into there that I hadn't opened. And I was like, oh. Here's another Spawn Universe title. We have Sam and Twitch Case 5.
Yes, Sleepy Reader 666 highly recommends this one. And Todd McFarlane actually, writes it.
Yeah, he does. Which is interesting because usually he does a script and he lets other guys do it for him, but in this one he's writing, and he probably has a place in his heart for these guys. What I will say is the art is very different in this one. So it's a little bit more realistic. Yeah. Let's see if we can find something good. But it really does just like show the psyche of these guys. And again, like I'm still a few issues on this one. I think I'm on issue 4. But it really shows the dynamic between Sam and Twitch. And early in the book, Sam does some stuff that gets him fired and kind of gets Twitch in trouble. And Twitch is like, he's like, you know what? We're done.
We're done, dude.
And then somewhere around issue 3, Sam is like, Twitch is like, I'll help you. But, you know, I'm still mad as
Well, it's Trev, the shipping guru. What is going on, Trev?
Trev is in the house.
Yeah, man. So nice to see you, my friend.
Trev's a busy man these days.
I know, dude. Him and Evil Mike, they're partners now.
Like Sam and Twitch. So definitely different. The only big complaint I've heard about this book is the word bubbles. People just don't like.
They don't dig it.
Don't dig the word bubbles, but and it's very dark. You know, a lot of these you got to turn the contrast up.
In the chat. Let us know what you got. If you got anything today, if you went to the LCS today, you know.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know.
And if you disagree with my opinions on a book, which I'm not really giving a lot, I'm just kind of giving story, let me know. Or if I tell the story wrong.
Oh, I disagree. I just keep my mouth shut.
And it looks like something major happens, but we'll leave it there.
All
if
right.
you've been reading it, I don't want to give stuff away.
So it's almost fun being behind on the books because you're actually reading them like they're meant to be read as a trade.
Yeah, so what I do is I'll find, you know, a stack of 3 books of the same series, and I'll just read them all in order. So yeah, it definitely. I will say, like, I do love my floppies, my singles.
Yeah,
but things just make so much more sense, and they're more coherent when you read them as a trade.
Yeah, because they're meant to be read that way.
Yeah, and you're not waiting a month in between. You don't forget certain scenes.
Yeah.
You just read the story, and the story's there.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. All right, last book, and then we'll look at some classics. But we got Deadpool number 6. This is Cody Ziegler. It's the same guy who's doing Spider-Man. Miles Morales is working on this book.
Okay.
And
action. All right, here we go. This Trev is saying that he got Wonder Woman, World's Finest, Superman, Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. The Moon is Following Us, among others. Excellent.
I wanted to get The Moon is Following Us, so I did get Superman and Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, Trev. I did want to get The Moon is Following Us, but so I'm a very particular reader, and if I'm buying something brand new and it costs $3.99, I expect to get like a near minty copy.
Oh, yeah.
And the one at the comic shop, the last issue was like bent. The front page was like bent and folded with like a crease in it, and I was like,
took a pass.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'll see if I find it later on somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not. I mean, comics are meant to be read, and they're gonna get dinged up. But
I'm like you, man, with the new ones. I want them nice.
Yeah, I want to be the one doing the dinging up.
Yeah, if it happens, right.
Right.
I don't put gloves on, but I tell you, when those black covers, I do like use. Sometimes I put something like a plastic or something behind it as I'm reading.
I'll tell you what I do sometimes when I read a book, especially if it's a dark cover. I take the bag they came in, I put the comic in the bag.
Okay.
And then I'll flip it and I'll read it like that. So my oils and my fingerprints and all that.
The black covers are no joke.
No, so they're hard, and you could see almost instantly. You'll see like a thumbprint on them, and it's like, oh
yeah.
But this is Deadpool number 6. So in this one, for those of you who haven't been following the story, this one kicks off with Deadpool having a daughter, and his daughter is, according to all the trades publications, is going to become the next Deadpool. So apparently this issue, spoiler if you haven't heard about it, is the death of Wade Wilson, Deadpool.
Huh.
Yeah. So I didn't really think Deadpool could die, but apparently he's fighting a character.
They did this 10 years ago too, just so you know.
Oh, and yeah, and this is the reveal of the new Deadpool. Spoiler. So,
Girlfriend.
but yeah, well, and wasn't there a whole thing where Thanos said that Deadpool couldn't die because he had like some tryst with death and he was jealous?
I don't know.
I
think it's not. That sounds familiar to me.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
It's whatever the writer feels like, you know.
Right. But yeah.
They can come to the old school editors. No, you got to write this way, pal.
Yeah. Right. We got some Taskmaster action in here. So
I love Taskmaster.
Yeah, it looks like he's working with the new Deadpool. And let's see what else. We got this overgrown symbiote cat thing. So that's like basically the pet. It's a whole funny scenario in here. And then here it is going crazy. Nice big splash page.
Yeah, look at that. Yes, Grant's saying he doesn't read. I'm dropping everything, dude. Eventually, I'll tell you that. I do this every so often though, so it's circular.
Right.
But yeah, I can't keep track. I like the older stuff now.
It's like, you know, everything comes back here and there.
Yeah, I do. That's why I like our show now. Because I got someone and I got the chat now in where they're keeping a pulse, their hand on the pulse, right?
Right. Here's a big splash page with the main baddie, and that's Deadpool there looking all beat up and whatever. I can tell you on the next page he is still alive. I can't tell you if he will be alive past the next page. You got to read it yourself. No spoilers here.
No spoilers
here. But
Cuppy.
Yeah. But apparently, yeah, that's what this is. Deadpool number 6.
Excellent.
A new Deadpool and the death of the old Deadpool.
Hey, why not?
Right.
You know, do what you want, Marvel. I mean,
like
Disney.
You said, every 10, 15 years, they do it again.
Well, they brought him back. He was dead, but not for that long.
No, I mean, you can't keep Wade Wilson under wraps for too long. I'm sure they'll bring him back eventually. Especially that character sells, so
yeah,
they're not gonna keep him on the wraps for too long.
Excellent, dude.
Yeah, that was the poll. A lot shorter poll this week, just also because we didn't skip 3 weeks.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna show you some stuff that I've been reading.
Let's go.
I bought a long box, and so a lot of these older comics were under $2 each, which is freaking amazing. This is something I never read before, and I read it last night, and it's Aquaman 50.
Oh, wow.
And it's amazing.
A 15
Jim Aparo art and Neil Adams. And it's 1970. 1970. And look at this Jim Aparo art. And it's so, the way it's written is so cool to me. I love it. It's very mysterious. He's in this new like universe, or not universe, but like realm or something. He's not in water, but he still has his telepathy, and he's trying to use his telepathy to communicate with these other people who are there, and it's just freaking beautiful.
Nice.
I mean, look at this Jim Aparo art. And then I love this one. I love that they have the advertisements, like
and Jerry Lewis.
They share the page with the advertisements, you know.
That's cool.
And this girl saves Aquaman because he was like, hey, you know, why isn't she shooting the monster in the eye? Come to find out. So he ran up there and did it. And come to find out, the monster explodes if you do that. So she ended up saving him. But yeah, man, I'm just freaking loving it. But this Neil Adams. So Neil Adams is one is about Dead Man. And it's so freaking awesome.
That's cool.
It is. Okay, so Dead Man, you kind of get his backstory, you know? And I'm just blown away by the backstory. But this story actually ties in to the Aquaman story, in which Deadman needs to go out and help the world, and he actually contacts Ocean Master here. Well, he doesn't contact him. No one could see Deadman when he's floating around, and what he does is he comes in and he possesses other people's bodies and stuff. And so in this one, he convinces he somehow possesses Ocean Master's body to convince him that Aquaman's a brother, and so Ocean Master goes and helps Aquaman from the trap that Ocean Master actually created. It was really good though. It's like I really loved it. I really loved it. I love this. I love how it was written. And then I also read the very first book of Saga of Swamp Thing, like the Alan Moore. Everyone has heard of this, acclaimed series, right? But this first book was so freaking good. It was just the way Alan Moore writes it, in the characterization of what's this, Floronic Man or something? Well, anyway, this rich guy bails out the Floronic Man, and the Floronic Man has to figure out what Swamp Thing is. And so you get a backstory on Alec Holland, who is the Swamp Thing. And just, it reads like an awesome short story. Like, just the way the concepts and the perspectives of the characters reoccur and the words tie back together and stuff. It's just written amazingly well, in my opinion. And so this was the first time I read this. I've read some Alan Moore Swamp Thing, and I'm just happy I'm doing this instead, you guys. Like, I'm taking a break from the modern, so I have time to read stuff like this. The very first Frank Miller, on Daredevil, and that's Deathstalker. And come to find out, yeah, dude, that was an incredible Aquaman cover, man. I was pretty blown away by it. Come to find out, Daredevil was involved in Deathstalker's origin story.
Hey, Alex.
What's up, comic addicts?
What's up?
Thank you for being here. But they did a big deal. They made a big deal out of Frank Miller joining the ranks of the Daredevil team. They were really happy about it.
Right.
And I just love old school continuity. This guy Deathstalker also appeared a lot in the pages of like Iron Man, and you always get reference to other issues and stuff. Just the constant like world building. But of course, Daredevil beats him by somehow turning out the lights or something like that.
That's his thing.
Yeah. So, but I never read it before, and this comic is worth a lot of money, but I'm reading the comic itself, Yeah.
The pages look pretty white. So
yeah.
Looks like it had some TLC.
Yeah. I got 2 copies of this at one time, and I sent one off to my friend PGH Zombie, because he had all of Daredevil except for that one for some reason. And so we did a trade, and I told him about it, and nice. He loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I read that and loved it. I'm going to be reading Frank Miller's Daredevil. I have most of it, so, and whatever I don't have, I'll just hunt down.
Yeah, not all of it is super expensive, but there are a few key issues in there. You got like the death of Elektra and the first death of Elektra, the resurrection of Elektra. You got some other stuff in there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the first Bullseye was. I think that was before Frank.
No, that was before.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, Bullseye gets utilized amazingly well.
Right. And you have and then you have Elektra, the introduction of and the death of.
Now, here's something I would never be inclined to read, but my friend, Cheap Comic Collector, right? He's a real Carl Barks fan of Walt Disney, you know? And so I ended up reading this, and it took me a little longer to read, but it's a reprint of Uncle Scrooge, right?
A lot of words back in
And
those days.
yeah, I was never aware of this character. He's Flintheart Glomgold, and he's the nemesis of Dr. Scrooge. Like, who is more greedier? You know, who has more? Who could beat who in finances, right?
Right.
And of course, you know, Uncle Scrooge always wins. But this one, yeah, this one is you know, about the riches of the lost civilization of Inca, right? And so,
hey, Rob says not a reprint.
not a reprint. This says 1990 or something.
And
Man, wow.
what's up? Easy's in the house.
Wow.
What is
So
up?
my friend Cheap Comic Collector got me this, and it had one note on it. It says, "Read this." So I was like, "Okay, I'll read it." You know.
Not
What up, Mike? Mike in the house. Uncle Scrooge was an influence on Indiana Jones. Did not know that, and it's not by Carl Barks. Okay, well, reason why I thought that is I think they did a little focus on Carl Barks. Yeah, who is Carl Barks? So I made that assumption. I'm a bad man sometimes, making assumptions, you know. But
little homage issue to Carl Barks.
I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Disney. It's not really my thing. But they eventually make it to the lost civilization where there's the sundial. And through some crazy adventure, of course, Uncle Scrooge gets to the city first. And so he wins all the gold, you know.
Right.
But the sundial doesn't have any gold. And due to both of their greed, more mishap ensues. And they plug this geyser, and it builds pressure, and the whole mountain blows and all this stuff. So no one ends up with anything, you know. But yeah, thank you for this, Rob, Cheap Comic Collector. Sleepy reader in the house, man. We love it. Man, Sleepy just gave away some freaking incredible Frank Miller Wolverines and the first black suit, Secret Wars and stuff to charity, and I guess it's a good charity. So that was really nice, Damien. Good on you, man. Is that Roca art? Okay, you're gonna have to ask Cheap Comic Collector this. And Parallax is telling me to start over.
Got to start from the beginning.
Did I like it? I thought it was okay. I wasn't very, you know, I sensed the humor of it, and I liked the adventure of it. But yeah, I thought it was good. But I'm enjoying, like, you know, something like this a little more, Rob. You know, the Jim Aparo. I loved this. I love the, you know, the superhero stuff. I'm stuck on it, man.
So Scrooge's nemesis does appear in the animated series DuckTales. He is a reoccurring character on the animated show. So I was familiar with him.
You could tell that I wasn't watching DuckTales when it came out. So now we'll just go. So we got about 10 minutes. I just have some random stuff I'll pull and show, covers and stuff like that.
No, I have a random. You just reminded me. I just have a random DuckTales book over here.
Okay, let's see it.
This is DuckTales Magazine from 1989. I might as well open it up. Why not?
Yeah.
I think I won this from Free Key Louie, if anybody is familiar with Free Key. DuckTales Magazine. So apparently it's a magazine. Got lots of DuckTales in there. So it was, you know, spring 1989. This is more of a kid's book. So it's very much a magazine with, it's got some like little, you know, write-in letters from the audience, and of course they're going to try to sell you some Disney products. So that's a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Movies. What's quacking is it's got movies, books, behind the scenes stuff happening. Meet Davy Crockett, who there probably was a TV show coming out for that. Then they're gonna have like a little comic inside, a little DuckTales comic. So very much a kid-oriented book. Lots of comic pages. You'll have your tricks, your Saturday morning cereal stuff. What else? Oh, this was Gyro was an inventor on the show. Used to make a lot of Scrooge's gadgets and gizmos.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them always kind of faltered in some weird way. If they worked 100%, something was off. Crossword puzzle. So a little early crossword puzzle for the early. Then you got your centerfold comic. This is kind of this is a scene from I believe from the opening animation of the show. And then they'll do like this is Around the World, the Junior Woodchucks. So the Junior Woodchucks were like their version of the Boy Scouts. So they'll do some educational stuff in the magazine. This one's covering space.
Aggressively relaxing. Happy comic day to you. Back at
comic book day. It's the most wonderful time of the year. They'll have like a story that's not comic based in here. So, DuckTales the magazine was a pretty cool magazine. I believe it came out 4 times a year, so it was seasonal. So once every 3 months, and I believe they had other magazines like Tailspin. They probably had Mickey one, and there was a different magazine each month. So 1 month it might be DuckTales, next month it might be Tailspin, next month it might be Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, and so forth. But yeah, that's DuckTales magazine from spring of 1989.
Wow, little synchronicity. It was right there by you.
It was just hanging out right over here. I was like,
you gotta love that. Yeah, dude. But just gonna show, close it out with just some random. I mean, we're talking random comic book covers here. 1981. We got What If Daredevil became an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I found those What Ifs to be really, like reading them as a younger reader, to sometimes be really not traumatic, but like they really changed a lot of lore, and people like actually like died and bad things happened. Like there wasn't a lot of happy endings in these What Ifs.
Yeah, you're right. What ifs were pretty much Marvel telling you, hey, the way this plot line went in the real world, in the real continuity, it happened because we're right and you're wrong. You disagree.
If it would have went this way, these characters would no longer exist. Like that's kind of
so. We got art from Tom Sutton. Some cool stuff. And the Watcher always kicks it off. What if I like the Johnny Blaze. I like Ketch too, but Danny Ketch. But I think I like Blaze a little more. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why. Even though I'm more familiar with the Ketch stuff, but
Johnny Blaze he was more of a badass, right? He was a stunt bike rider and wore cool leather. Danny Ketch was a little bit more of the whiny teenager. Why is it happening to me? So.
But he had the look, he had the chains and all that from the 90s. He had that 90s look, right? So.
Yeah. The 90s Ghost Rider visually was a pretty cool character. The bike really sold it for me.
Yeah. So we got some a little later here compared to that. 1988. No, not that late. No, this is Alan Davis art, right? Inferno Excalibur #6.
Wow, that's
a cool cover, man. I like Alan Davis.
Those eyes. Oof.
I collect the earlier. I remember liking these as a kid.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's just weird. just odd,
Right.
like Alice in Wonderland type stuff. It's not a gatefold, I don't think. But
No, just
I always liked how he drew Rachel Phoenix. So it's nice to get these back.
right.
But man, this kept going on and on and on, right? And I don't think I'm gonna have the room for it all. But Rachel was Scott and Jean's daughter from a different dimension, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some cool stuff. Here's a reader beater from what do we got here? 1979, and it's a reader beater, man. Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. 257. A lot of my YT friends have gotten me very interested in this, namely Cheap Comic Collector and Higgy and Dr. Silver Age and Metarog. I love those guys, man.
The Jackson Roy Kirk says, "Okay, start over again."
Yeah, we try to wrap this up in an hour for Micah. I don't know if Micah's coming on tonight. But yeah, we try to keep this show at an hour. But it's pretty cool. So yeah, if it's intact, I'm interested. I'm not one of those guys that holds on to the comics that are referred to by Shannon the Base Cannon as Wounded Warriors, right? Where they got clipped out panels and stuff like that. I know my guy Easy loves the comics no matter what, even if they're clipped out, even if they're incomplete.
What's up, Comics Embrace? Hello.
Danielle, what's up? What up, my friends? JRK and Danielle. Excellent. Yeah, so looking forward to starting this series as well and continuing. I guess it's pretty good. Right before they split off, I guess some people really love that, the Mike Grail art and stuff. This one's a 3D. It's a indies from the 80s. I told someone recently that I don't have 3D glasses, but I guess I do now if I want to display the comic,
right?
And I just love that. Like, just
exclamation. What's up, Jacob Barnowski?
So we got a Filthy 50 center on this wonderful indie from the 80s. It's 1987, and it's three-dimensional Destroy from Eclipse Comics.
Eclipse. Yeah.
Loudest comic book universe. And the fabulous first issue.
The fabulous first issue.
Parents beware. That's what you think it is. 32 pages of meaningless, overblown violence, mayhem, and destruction. Plus a naughty word for you. But yeah, I don't know. Should I keep this one or should it go into claim sale? I don't know. I need my 3D glasses. I need to get a pair.
Nice.
And a couple other random ones here. Just a random Fantastic Four from 1987. Diablo is the villain. And Diablo, To Duel with Diablo, was one of John Byrne's first villains he used in his run. This is not John Byrne, of course, but it's later stuff. I'm currently reading the John Byrne that I grew up on, Fantastic Four, and I'm loving it. But this is okay. This isn't as exciting to me as the John Byrne Fantastic Four, but I still collect it.
The Jackson Roy Kirk says, I mean, his last name was Blaze, talking about Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You gotta love the Blaze. Here is Danny Ketch, though. Not to let you guys down, but
little Danny Ketch. I'm in.
Ghost Rider #2. No, it's pretty cool. You know,
That
he had
book
the
actually
chains.
has a little value to it. I think it's like a $10 book or something.
Oh,
like
is it really?
Yeah.
He's got the chains, man. The chains don't
The
hold him
chains
down.
definitely sell it. Like, and what he uses the chains too, so that's pretty cool.
And I think that's it for today. We'll just do one more panel of your guy from the 90s. Right?
Yeah. So what was it? 2 series ago, I guess, in the Ghost Rider series, Johnny Blaze was back in the saddle as the Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Weren't they both?
Yeah, they were both Ghost Riders, but Danny Ketch was like controlled by like some government mystical government clan, I don't know, demon, clan thing. It was a weird, convoluted group. So, but yeah, they had Danny Ketch under control and were using them as a weapon.
Cool. Yeah. So my favorite thing that I read this week was this Jim Aparo and then the Neil Adams Dead Man. That was awesome.
That's
And
a really
plus,
cool cover.
The first book, the very first issue of the Swamp Thing, which I never read, and that first issue was written so well. It was like written as like literature or something. I can't recommend it enough. It you know how just when someone's writing the perspectives of a character and they're using the words and it comes back to those concepts and then they connect the concepts differently over here, right? And it's just one of those things. It's just written very well and it was very satisfying, a very satisfying read. And I got introduced to the Floronic Man, and I think that's how you pronounce him. And I just loved it. So, and I loved the first written issue of Daredevil. I'll be slowly going through Daredevil. I know Sleepy Reader read it as it came out, maybe, or but I only got like the tail end of that. I read some of that Frank Miller stuff, but I want to read it sequentially now.
It's critically acclaimed. It's like Walt Simonson on Thor, Frank Miller on Daredevil. There was a time and period where these artists / writers really killing it on these books. And
yeah,
pretty cool. It's and a lot of people think like the artist / writer was like a 90s thing or a recent thing, but these Frank Miller and Walt Simonson were killing it back in the 80s and 90s, early 90s. So
yeah,
they were doing it way before. They're like the originators of the one guy on a book type deal.
Yeah. We got Joe piping in. Joe knows his DC, man. I freaking love it, man. And I've always wanted to read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. I have a lot of the issues. I don't have them all, but I wanted to at least read that first trade I got. I got it like last year when I got all the Swamp Thing I got from my friend sold me his collection. Got all kinds of Batman and Howard the Duck and Swamp Thing and stuff. So
that's cool. Howard the Duck. Go wrong with that.
Wow. You lucked out to come back to comics with Miller's first issue. Well, that's the issue I just read yesterday with Deathstalker, and I really enjoyed it. I really love it. I love, it's noirish, right? The Daredevil, even though it's really weird. I like it. All right, you guys, we're signing out. Anything you want to say, Will?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, thank you everybody for joining us. It's amazing.
Yeah,
a cool show. I love showing off my comics. So sharing it with you, it's a joy. It's a pleasure. I did record a video. I'm doing another mystery mail call box unboxing, so that should be out probably tomorrow. And
well, I didn't even open this from the new comics that I got. I'm not even going to read them.
Oh man,
I was going to open them up. I forgot.
Whole fancy box of comics you got there.
I forgot.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, I have honestly, I have a box around here too, but moving, I just threw it to the side, and I'm like, I should probably open that.
Well, you're almost done getting organized, aren't you, buddy?
I am. I'm getting close. I feel like next week should be the point where anything I haven't unpacked is just either going in storage or the trash.
Right.
We're getting to that point. Yeah. And Monday, join me for Monday Night Robux. And tomorrow, we got the big show.
The big show. It's called Chaotic Comic Book Cover Displays and More with Friends, and just have a blast on that show. And yeah, also I'll be dropping a video, another little haul. Those will be dropping on Thursdays, 10 a.m. Pacific. My old school hauls. I just enjoy doing them, but they're shorter. Please check out my latest video. It's a video. It's a music video, but it's about Chase Dagwood, who was a warehouse manager for a garden supply chain, who was trying to convince his punk rock and heavy metal friends that harvesting stinging nettles is okay, right? And not only that, this guy, you know, he has these nightmares that he's living another life on another planet, right? And that he's battling these giant grasshopper things. And he normally works out to release this angst because he's just so wound up from these nightmares, you know. So one day he comes home and he's greeted by alien beings. And so I put a lot into this, you guys, but they're like music videos, like old school videos where the videos themselves are a little more abstract, you know, like music videos used to be or whatever, or still are. I don't know. I can't keep up with it all, but please check that out. That one dropped Monday, and that's it, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to do a claim sale Saturday because Rob's not going to do the claim sale Saturday. He's going to do it Sunday. So I might do a dollar sale on Saturday and just do it, right? Just do it. Even though I'm freaking busy, but just do it, you know?
Do it.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. And always check out my playlists, you know? Okay, that's it, you guys. We're out.
Deuces.
Deuces. See you on the next one.
Peace.